Hmm. And it took me a while to make just one. I'll probably wind up using the similar backgrounds in most of them. I think there's like 20 for this. But, I don't know, bad. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of missions in the Jackpots DLC. Oh well. After I make like 5 of them cards, it'll be easy. Then I can just swap around the cards and words and that. Winners and losers go to the impound lot. I'm a bit overpowered for this. I forgot that it whatever level you started the DLC is the level that it scaled to. I started it at like level 15 and now I'm like level 30 because I left him and came back. But that'll just make me look really good.
Well, you're certainly making the rounds. Even the impound lot was a part of Jack's vision. Not one square foot in this place where you couldn't win it all, or lose it all. Once I get Timothy's hand, I'll clean this place up. I'm thinking fountains, statue or two of yours truly. You'll see.
I personally would not want anything to do with a business venture that Jack spent so much time on. Uh, I I watched him die, and I'm not sure he's dead. He was the president and CEO of the corporation that created the new U stations and spread them all across the galaxy so that none of its employees could die. Seems kind of odd that he would just, kick the bucket. Either that or I just don't want him to be dead. Jack was my favorite villain of all time. He is the reason I loved Borderlands 2.
I'll put it to good use.
What now?
End of transaction. Yep, we're done here.
All right. Been a while since I've done any of these missions. Oh yes, this is the the beginning of this mission is designed just to annoy you. So the door is locked.
acquire this for, but I will not like it.
All the boats in the casino serve pretty boy. I doubt very much they will let you recover my ship. But I suppose there are some things fire cannot solve. Perhaps.
Yes, Form 34B.
Hello, valued guest. You need 34B. Do you? That's gonna be just over there in requisitions. But why use your legs? If you want, I can procure that form for you. Only $5 billion. Scanning net worth. Oh my. So sad the state some people live in. March those pedestrian legs to data requisition and they'll sort you out.
Yes, we are quite broke. A little slow on the walk, aren't you?
Hey, hope you're having a great time at the casino. I'm told you need Form 34B. Here it is.
I'm the one that told you that. Yeah. But of course, like any true.
Hey, valued guest. You had your required form? Oh, sorry. There must have been a mix-up. This is Form 34B version 2.4. Only Form 34B version 2.6 is accepted. See, that's why it pays to be VIP.
This is most infuriating.
Now, I honestly don't know how many times you have to do this. Apparently, at least twice.
Got a new friend for you to play with. I can't see. Also, I'm tired.
Why are you starting trouble?
Maybe only once. Oh. Suppose I have to do it at least twice.
Oops, you'll have to return to data requisition again for the updated Form 34B version 2.6.
I'm trash now.
There's a reason the house always wins. You'll never get what you want playing by the rules.
Ow! Okay.
Yeah, so don't waste your time doing that a half a dozen times. As soon as you are allowed to punch him, punch him. It will turn all of these passive robots against you inside the casino, but that was going to happen sooner or later anyway. Hmm. around the casino, you'll find these bounty boards. They're pretty small, but you can see the yellow exclamation point from a long way away. They give
Hey,
all
my
the
name is
side
Max
quests in the
Sky,
game.
and I'm getting the hell off this soul-sucker casino. I've got a plan, and it's genius. But I hit some snags, and I need some help with the final touches. And there's a reward in it for you. So come help me.
I don't know exactly how many of them there are, maybe 15 or so, but each one of them has a fairly unique item, a shield or a weapon of some kind. They're one drop items in the game, so the only place and the only time you can get them is the one time you complete this mission, or if you play it through on True Vault Hunter mode, you can get it a second time. So make sure you are whatever level you want it to be at when you accept it, because you cannot farm it. It won't come again unless you have a PC and you can read-only farm the save file, but that's a little more complicated. Let me see what Jack has to say.
Jack here. Okay, yes, I probably impounded your ship, but that's what you get for being a deadbeat. Better keep spending, though. Who knows? That big win is probably just around the corner. Then you can get out of this shithole. Not that you'd want to. I mean, who'd ever want to leave this shithole anyway?
I don't know. I always personally considered the casino one of the happier places on the planet. Even with everybody around you losing all their money, they're still smiling. This is a nice casino.
Hiya! Welcome to customer care. Your claim number is 9957. We'll be with you shortly.
9957. Shouldn't take too long.
Number 1345. Please go to the counter.
3, 4, 5. Well, we're only 8,000 places away.
We don't have time to wait in line. Like I said, if the rules are keeping you down, find a way around. Doesn't look like they're using their number. Take it off their hands. Looks like it was a trap. Do your thing, Vault Hunter.
Yeah, well, if anybody thought that the glowing bandit with a Jack mask on, sleeping on a bench with his ticket hanging out wasn't a trap, you don't need this video.
Switching out!
You're not so hard to read. Get out here, damn it! Look what the skag dragged me. New blood. Invitation only. Damn, I'm strong. Somebody better avenge me.
There's just something really satisfying about them bursting into a cloud of red mist. I'm always just slightly disappointed when I hit them and they just fall over like normal people. Hmm.
Locating ship. Location acquired for La Femme Brûlée. Oh, that's fun. One moment. I'll figure out where she's being kept. Found her. But before I tell you where she is, impound ship relinquish fee is set at $500 billion.
Jesus.
Oh, that's not good. Looks like it's broken. Come back tomorrow. Of course, if you'd like to upgrade to VIP status, I could expedite your payment.
I must destroy something.
I am through with this bullshit. Just rush past the security and get to my ship.
You got it.
Would all available security please report to customer services immediately?
Alright. From this point on, there are no friendly robots. They will all
Now,
attack
find
you.
my ship, Vault Hunter. I can only hope my tools are still there.
It is very wise to come into the casino here with a corrosive weapon of some kind. If you happen to have started out here, as the game now allows you to start with either DLC at a level 13, I believe, then don't pass up any corrosive weapon, even a green one. Just about everything in the casino has an armor bar. At least most have armor and shield. Some have all three. So, I of course don't have a corrosive weapon to follow my own advice, but I'm a little over leveled for the area anyway. So. You can fight all the guys in the first room, but this hole in the floor right as you come through is actually where you want to go. One floor down on the opposite side of the ship, there's another hole in the floor.
Okay, listen to this. Pretty boy, that a-hole just raised the price on my hand to $5 million freaking dollars. And 87 cents. Every gangster on this station is going to be out hunting for me, so I was in the crap
87
kiddie pool,
cents.
and now I'm just doing the breaststroke in the diarrhea deep end. So, you know, I'm saying, it sucks. It really sucks, that's all I'm saying.
Have faith, Sherry. You are not alone anymore. We will burn Pretty Boy's organization to the ground before he can lay his clammy fingers on you.
You know, faith sounds nice, but my money's on things continuing to be, you know,
super crappy?
Alright, once you're down here, there's a map here. I can't remember exactly. You just want to go straight ahead for a little while, that's all. As soon as you see a hole in the wall, you want to jump through it on your right. There's the very first one. I think there's one on the left too, but you don't want to go that way. It'll just take you around in a circle back to... Actually, it just dead ends eventually. So, to the right. And you gotta watch it down here. There's often turrets that pop out of the ceiling. They can do some pretty heavy damage. I don't remember where they all are just off the top of my head, but you should be looking for them.
The impound lot awaits. But be on your guard. Pretty boy has his eyes on you and he's always watching.
This first hallway you come to, it's got a bunch of floating pillars and some fans. The fans will push you a little bit. The pillars you can land on. On the very opposite side of the room, you can see back here, on the very last pillar, there is a gun chest sticking straight up and down. As far as I can tell, that is the only thing the pillars are here for. You have to do your little parkour trick to kind of descend up in the air, which I'm not very good at. So, it's your first one. Second one, you can always slam if you're going to float over them, you know, like a pre-gravity area. And the last one. Good pull. Show fire. And I've looked, but I don't find anything else in this room. I pretty much don't leave any stones unturned. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I can't let the box go unopened. Alright, now, when you get past that part, this is when you start running into a lot more enemies. There's an upper and lower part of the bridge. You can actually travel the upper part of the bridge for quite a ways. Once you get around the first block there, you can get back up on it. All the enemies will be on the lower part. There are a number of side quests if you turn around and go back. In fact, that one I picked up on the wall back there is right down there. That's his ship he wants to take off. He just needs a radio or something from someone else, but I'll get to that one eventually. I usually just go past the first couple of guys, jump down, and back up onto the upper bridge. You can run past them, unless you're needing to level up, and then of course, you know, work your way through them. It's a wave after wave type of thing. Every time you come to a block, you just have to jump down one and right back up one. And watch it. Every once in a while, they're missing a little piece, but they usually put these pieces of paint here, showing you where you can get back up. And that leads to this VIP door that's in here. This is a pretty expensive one, actually. Instead of there just being one VIP door, there's like 4 in a row that you have to open to get to the other side. But even if you don't want to open them, you can sit up here and kind of take these things out a few at a time, one at a time even. The bigger ones won't actually come up here. Eventually, you are going to want to go there. See where that slope is going up. But I wait until I pull a couple waves of these mobs. If you go run over there, the mobs on the left, right will all converge on you. And it's actually a pretty tough area. I died here numerous times on my first playthroughs. The thing is when you die here, you have to go all the way back to that hallway with the floaty blocks in it. Everybody respawns. It's a pain. But if you got the money, you can run on through this hallway. There's a like a little mini boss at the end of this. He has a chance of dropping a legendary shotgun, I believe.
You're so screwed! On my way, pal!
Mr. Hordmore. He didn't drop it for me that time, but nonetheless, it's a fast way to get a legendary weapon early on in the DLC. There's also numerous gun chests in here. Yes, and loot bots. I forgot about these. Yeah, there's these little loot bots in here too. They're random, but I'd say you get one about every 5 or 6 of those gun chests you open. And they drop legendaries quite frequently. The Gatling gun. It's actually one of my favorites. And don't pass up the cash registers in here. This is a casino, and when you leave the Handsome Jack DLC, you should have millions of dollars and be able to purchase most of the STUs that you'll need to expand your bank and your bag. There's actually a little glitch here. These cash registers and these blockers along the wall, If you get far enough away from them, they will actually close and respawn cache. And technically, this little corridor is about 4 rooms long. If you get into the 4th room, you're far enough away from the 1st room to get them to respawn, and you can actually run back and forth and collect quite a bit of cash if you want to spend the time doing it. There's actually quite a few easier, faster ways to get money that in the base game, but you don't have access to them right away. You can do this one pretty much when you start the game. Alright, we'll go mop up the remainder. Be careful when you jump around in here. It has a kind of like a half-foot low gravity, like Skywell did, or the previous the pre-sequel had a little anti-gravity, whatever. You can float around a lot and see, jump long ways. But if you're not used to it, you can misjudge easily and fly right over stuff. And just back. Okay, at this point, on this side of the bridge, there's going to be a bunch of, they're like bandits, human beings, whatever, they spawn. But they're having a war with the robots from the other side of the bridge, as you can see. Now, once you start killing them, they'll both turn on you, so I usually run to one side or the other and then fight my way back. But they will just keep spawning, as far as I know, until you kill this guy here, the constructor at the other side. Once the constructor goes down, this guy should come through this door here, but it may take him a second. I killed it pretty fast.
But it's the only game in town!
Is it too late for revenge? It's never too late for revenge. Yeah. So, you had to kill a couple more, but if you don't kill the constructor, you can stand there and fight for quite a while. You can kill dozens of them things. And that's where we meet Freddy.
What's up? No problem. I'll fix him up and reprogram him. But what were you thinking? I know they tried to kill you and all, but it is what they were designed to do. Can't blame them for trying.
Freddy is friends with the robots.
I need something from that ship. Also, your clothing is disorienting.
I know, great, right? About that ship. Pretty boy locked him all down. Uses him as leverage. But I'm like super great, so I might be able to hack in and free your ship. If you help me out. You know the Larboard Bruisers? The gang. Suits Dangeroso. Well, they nabbed one of my loader-bot buds. Free him and Freddy. That's me. He'll get you in that ship. Now that you've been here a while, on 3. Let's both say our favorite part of being trapped in a casino with thousands of greedy, murderous psychopaths. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got nothing either. I was kind of hoping you saw something I didn't.
Alright, so in order to get Freddy to free the ship for you, you've got to go free his loaderbot friend from the gang. Now, his friend is actually located just right there, inside this little room, right inside the ship. But of course you can't get there from here. You have to go the long way around. To that. I think he said some more stuff to you before. Nope.
Thanks for not shouting at me. You're trying to kill me or shaking me,
Ah,
by the
there
way.
it is.
It's, rare.
Poor Freddy's been down here in the basement a long
You're
time.
new here, so I guess you didn't see how bad it got. I'm talking the lockdown. Jack's dead, lights out, total chaos, people flipped, ripped each other apart trying to escape. But my loader buds, they helped me survive. 7 years. Long time. Glad I had those bots to talk to. Otherwise, I'd be freaking crazy. Bots are way
Yep.
better than people.
I'm surprised you
Never trust
made
a
it.
human. Humans are garbage. Bots, though, loyal. Because I program them that way. Plus, they get dinged up. Freddy fixes them.
Hey.
You may hate, but don't deny you're only real through my eyes.
I do suggest a good sniper rifle or a long range rifle. You can actually do quite a bit of damage to a lot of areas in this casino area or this lower area without ever getting inside their combat zones. And of course they're all bandit like. I don't know what all these bandits were doing in the casino, but they like charge you and want to stab you with knives and blow up in your face, and it can get quite annoying. I prefer to shoot them from a distance.
Come to me!
Oh, you die! I nerfed the system!
Just a dagger! Remember to live life slightly!
Now, I didn't actually bring one with me because this is actually a fresh playthrough for me. No loadouts from other characters or other save files or anything like that. But the most recently they added a weapon to the game, the newest takedown, called the Web Slinger. And the Web Slinger is a crap weapon. It doesn't do hardly any damage at all, but it has a unique special ability which allows you to fling yourself up the sides of walls. It works extremely well in low gravity areas like this map, the new takedown, and Skywell 27. I haven't brought it here yet, but I feel like it was put in this game primarily for this area or the other area. You could potentially skip large portions of this map and game with that. And I always felt like there was stuff I couldn't get to. I spent a lot of time trying to jump over stuff in this particular map, and I couldn't get over it, but I may do another video on skips I find with the Web Slinger in the future. Okay. Always keep your eye out for stuff like this in this whole game, not just the DLC, but this anything that has a bullseye on it most likely has an effect. This one here is obviously going to fire up the electricity, shock the water. Now that could just be an environmental damage thing, but it also could be it opens a door somewhere and gives you a red chest. This particular one I think is just damage, but again, this is one of them areas I spent a lot of time jumping up and down this thing trying to figure out why it was here, and I never did, so good luck with that. Each one of these platforms has a similar thing right in the center that you can climb up, but I never had any. I get off on a tangent. I'll be here for an hour trying to climb that thing. So, yes, yeah, it was. You go across the bridge to this third platform, and here there'll be a few guys. This is mostly robots here, or loaders, whatever you want to call them. None of them is necessary to progress until you get to the end of this next dock or ship or whatever. So you can actually just skip all of them if you don't feel like fighting them. There is a rare spawn enemy back here. He comes out of this door, I think. But he won't come out until you get the rare spawn mission from the mayor in the trash compactor. I do believe, yeah, if you get up on top of this thing right here, you can see. I gotta be real careful because it's easy to fall. I think right on the other side of that wall is a big red chest, a gun chest. Remember exactly how to get over there. I think it's from here to that floating rock. Yeah. Maybe back to down I go. But there's actually an easier way to get to it if you just wait a little while when you're coming. There's a mission later on called the Double Downer mission. It's a mission to get a shield. Someone bets you money that you can't jump a really long ways and that you all come back down here. And at that point in time, the chest will be exposed to your vision and you'll be able to jump over there a lot easier. But you can't get it right then if you want. It's you can also fall off that thing a dozen times and go broke, so your choice. And as you can see, when you fall off, they don't start you right next to it. You gotta run all the way back up those platforms. It can be time consuming. Alright, So when you get to this side, that door won't drop until you clear this end of the bridge of loader bots. So this is where you have to actually. There's not that many of them. Maybe 10 or so. And then these psychos come off the bridge. They open the door, open the gate to get over here. Now, you see this ramp off to the side leads right down here. It's there's let's see, I think there's 2 cassettes down here, or holodecks, whatever you call them.
I really didn't know what I was getting into when I signed
From
up
Jack.
for this gig. But Jack, he
No,
big
that's
plans.
Timothy.
I've put my life on the line for that bastard more times than I can count. And for what? All to end up locked inside this frickin' casino with all these frickin' lunatics losing their frickin' collective shit. It's utter chaos. I won't be surprised if people start eating each other soon, if I'm being honest. I mean, that's probably already happened. These people are animals.
Yeah. So if the you know, the witty comedy or the edgy comedy, whatever you want to call it, of the game is important to you, there's a lot of those areas, like that one down here. You can also see where somebody has marked off the wall. They were marking the days. I assume it was Timothy, since his deck was down here. Cash. There's always cash in this game, in this DLC. Prior to this DLC, it wasn't very easy to just earn $1 million or more dollars without using some kind of a exploit or glitch, or but you can just walk around this casino, and by the time you leave here, you will leave with $1 million plus. I do believe just beating Jackpot at the end of this DLC will earn you about 1.5, like down in the little treasure chamber. That is a hard rain. Alright, here's a save point. You want to make sure you grab this when you come by. Don't cut the corner. The save points in this game actually are distance orientated, and if you cut that corner off, you can miss that save point. If you die down there, you go all the way back to those platforms that we started at.
Doing a bit of echo casting, I see. Excellent. Hello to all your fans from me, Claptrap.
I may lose the signal. Storming pretty hard here. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. That when you get the double downer mission, you'll come back here to this spot, and you'll knock this thing off. You can't do it till then, and it will shoot out a gust of air that will blow you all the way across to the pieces that we were jumping on before, where the chest is. Much easier.
That's the gang. Gotta free my loader bud. Made a bunch of personal upgrades, and those guys want my sweet, sweet tech.
Once you jump off of this platform, you will begin the final portion of this mission. You must clear the area, eliminate everybody. They'll continually spawn for a minute or two. They keep coming out of the doors, the bigger and heavier guys. It's just your traditional battle. I don't know any way to actually skip it or make it shorter. I know you must kill every person, so it's not a matter of who you kill or when. So. Now there are two kind of factions down here. These Goliath things are, like traditional Goliaths. If you take their heads off, they'll attack whoever's closest to them, and that includes their own people. I find in large crowds like this, it's best to take their heads off immediately and take your chances with them getting too strong, because they'll take out half the mobs on this platform if you let them. Now they'll be ultimate badasses when they're done with that, but you can handle them. When you finally do clear all the ads here, it's this door that will unlock and open. In the end, I just come and sit here myself and kind of pick them off as they come running back up. Yeah, the less horse. Apparently not very tough odds or ads. I always thought they was a little tougher than this, but they seem to have wiped each other out mostly. They only left about 6 for me.
All in to the
So this is one of the few games that they have kind of a cross-play system on. It's not between console and PC, unfortunately. It is between like Steam games and Epic games, and possibly yeah, a couple of the other PC platforms. Alright, and here'd be your door to open when you've cleared the mod. Here's your loader bot. He's a friend right now though.
Nice one! Now, come on back.
Good thing about getting back is that jump I showed you on the way over, we can't make it on the way over. We can't make it on the way back either. But Freddy's bot has...
Well, go on! Just activate your jump jets and fly across. Ah, right. You don't have those. Hang on. Freddy's got this.
So, Freddy's gonna create you a bridge, save you the time of going back. It is still a kind of a parkour thing, so be careful. I really don't know. It's a personal preference whether you want to try and ride the top or the inside of these things. You can jump from inside to inside, but I just like to go to the top myself.
Oh, bud, what did they do to you?
Mistreated, disrespected, sad.
Freddy can fix that. There. How's that?
Appreciated, content, yay.
See, that's bots for you. If they get too dinged up, you just reprogram them. Can't do that with people. Not yet, anyway. But I'm working on it. Am I kidding? Is he kidding? You though. You're not so bad. You're cool. And trust me, Freddy knows cool. Because me, I'm Freddy. And I'm cool. As promised. And Freddy never breaks a promise. Until I have to. But usually, nope.
My tools. Grab them, please. Excellent work, Fulton. Sure. I will see you back at Timothy's hideout.
Hey, you! Real quick. Look, it's none of my business, but I heard a rumor that a vault hunter is looking to break into Pretty Boy's tower. Well, I know all sorts of things about this casino. Secrets. Plus, I program bots, which is great. So Freddy's in! Sorry, social skills? Can Freddy be in?
Lots of Hyperion security. Guy like him could be useful. I'll allow it.
Bienvenue, Gulliver Peacock Man.
Yeah, sure. Welcome to the crew, whoever the hell you are.
All right! Freddy's got a crew!
So head on back to my place, kiddo. We got one more member of the crew to track down before we can get this tower heist going.
Okay, if there is anybody still listening, I'm gonna take a short break before I come back and start the next one. It's storming quite hard here. It's entirely possible I get disconnected, but right now I'm still running a little under 100 megs a second. So right now I still got good internet.